Do you find it difficult to stand up for yourself? Do you often say yes when you actually prefer to say no, ending up doing things you really don't want to do, just to please someone else? Would you feel bad and guilty if you would say no? Do you fear conflict or criticism when you speak your mind, and so you don't? Do you fear not being liked anymore when you express opinions? Do you tolerate unkind and disrespectful behavior from others that hurts, but you won't mention it and maybe just smile it away? If this sounds like you, keep watching. For many people, it is difficult to set their own personal boundaries or say no to others. Instead, they try to please others at all costs. Sometimes they work till they drop, do favors left, right, and center, allow others to manipulate them into doing things, and end up burned out, feeling stressed, drained, unhappy, overwhelmed, and anxious. Setting healthy boundaries is an essential aspect of self-care and personal growth. However, many people struggle with setting boundaries due to feelings of guilt or shame. In this video, we'll explore how to set healthy boundaries without feeling guilty. Boundaries are not only the space between you and other people. They are also needed if you want to develop a healthy relationship with yourself. When you regularly trespass your own boundaries, you prove to yourself that's not really worthy to listen to you and that it's okay to treat yourself with disrespect. Others will pick up on that. Healthy boundaries are a sign of love and respect towards personal strengths, abilities, quirks, and uniqueness, as well as those of others. They protect your sense of self. They strengthen your self-esteem and confidence. It's not about becoming rigid and controlling. It's always a fine balancing act between giving and taking, mutual understanding and support. Begin to build your healthy boundaries today, simply because you're worth it. So how to do that? How to set your boundaries? Let's begin with identifying your needs and values. Your personal boundaries protect and define you. They are kind of part of your identity, part of who you are. And when you are aware of what you allow and don't allow, you begin to take responsibility for your life and actions, generating your own self-worth from within instead of allowing others to define you. That is why the first step in setting healthy boundaries is to understand what you need and value. And this means taking time to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Ask yourself questions like, what do I need to feel fulfilled? What do I value most in my relationships? What makes me feel drained or stressed? Nobody has more or fewer rights than you have. Other people's needs and feelings are important too, but not more important than yours. We all have internal and external private space that deserves protection. Don't allow others to intrude without your permission and manipulate that space. Find out what you are actually okay with and what just doesn't feel comfortable to you. Understanding your needs and values will help you to set boundaries that align with your priorities. If you want to go further with learning how to set boundaries, start with exploring yourself. So even though you might find out more about your values and needs, you still might feel blocked from actually setting those boundaries. This can have a long personal history of experiences, education, and boundary violations from early childhood. Did you know that on average, we will receive up to 150,000 negative suggestions by the age of 18 years young? You are not good enough. Why couldn't you do better than this? Your brother, your sister is better than you. you will never make it. Are you stupid or what? 150,000 times. Those statements do not necessarily pass us by without any hurt or consequences. Can you imagine what this does to a very young brain as it develops? When we grow up with so much negativity, devaluation and diminishment, yes, sometimes it's just a stupid joke, and yes, sometimes it's not intended to hurt. However, this can stay with us for years. Therefore, it might make sense to you to dive a bit deeper and find out what makes it so difficult for you to stand up for yourself. You can do that in the following ways. And if you like, write it all down. Journal away if that's your thing. And be your own explorer. Number 1, browse through memories and remember times when you somehow felt discomfort or even resentment, and investigate what exactly happened that made you feel that way, without blaming someone or feeling guilty yourself. When you notice that discomfort, you might have found an inner boundary that you or someone else overlooked in the past. Number 2, explore your own limiting beliefs that may be underlying your behavior. What happens if I say no? What am I really afraid of? What am I really thinking? Am I not feeling good enough? Am I thinking I'm not lovable the way I am, not worthy of love? Things like that. Number 3, challenge your negative thoughts. Find out if they are really true. Do you have evidence for them to be true? Do you have evidence for the opposite to be true? Explore times when you felt really good about yourself. Can you detect qualities about yourself? Why not make a list? This might be a moment where you will realize that you might tend to generalize or distort or delete your view and ignore successes. Become very specific instead. List even small successes, skills, and qualities you have. Mistakes or weaknesses are not the definitions of who you are as a person. They are all just parts of your learnings and growth, so don't dismiss those and begin to value them too. How does that feel? Without any failures, you wouldn't have had the chance to get better at all. Once you have a very clear understanding of your needs and values, it's time to learn to communicate your boundaries. Be clear, and why not direct, about what you will and will not tolerate in your relationships. Don't shy away from using I statements to express your feelings and needs. For example, I need some space to recharge. Or, I feel uncomfortable when someone speaks to me in that tone. Be respectful, but firm when communicating your boundaries. We always have to keep in mind that we cannot change other people, and we cannot take responsibility for the way they respond to certain things. They have their own boundaries, or not, their own values, their own issues, dreams, problems, challenges. So it is on you to change. Let them know when they cross your line. Do it respectfully, as it is something you want for yourself as well. Be kind, clear, and calm. There's no need to be rude or harsh about it. Your boundaries are about you and your needs. Neither you nor other people are mind readers, so it's on you to communicate your boundaries. And in the end, you might be surprised to find out how many people are not even aware of having crossed the line. They will respect what you have to tell them and adapt their behavior. Change one element in the system, and the system will change. Others might react disappointed or angrily. It's their right to do so, but it is on you to decide how to respond to that. You will still encounter people testing your limits over and over again. But remember, you are not the one judging or deciding about their behavior. That's their responsibility only. But you can always decide to allow it to drain you emotionally or to begin to stand up for yourself. And so then, of course, it's very important to stick to your boundaries once you have set them. And this means saying no to requests that violate your boundaries and taking steps to protect your time and energy. Remember that your boundaries are there to protect your well-being, and it is absolutely okay to prioritize your needs. At first, when you start doing this, you might feel rude or selfish, still guilty, or maybe embarrassed when you communicate a boundary. Do it anyway, knowing that you have the right to take care of yourself. Only when you honor yourself and take care of things that are important to you first, you will be able to give fully to others without feeling drained. Simply because it will come from a heart place and a place of genuine love. Stay compassionate, patient, and kind to yourself. Take time for things you like, relax, and treat yourself with love and care. This will reflect on the outside world in one way or another. Another very important thing to keep in mind is to accept boundaries as being a process. You learn, you grow, and you experience. Don't overwhelm yourself, just start small. Begin with something that doesn't evoke too much fear in you. Test it out, playfully, and always respectfully, but clearly. No judgments, no blame games, no guilt, no anger. And once you can experience that it wasn't all that threatening, it will become easier to hold on to your boundaries till it becomes second nature to you. As a result, your confidence will grow naturally, and relationships that are really important and healthy will improve. And all the rest is the rest. In conclusion, setting healthy boundaries is an essential aspect of self-care and personal growth. By understanding your needs and values, communicating your boundaries clearly, sticking to them, and practicing self-compassion, you can set boundaries without feeling guilty. Remember, your boundaries are there to protect your well-being, and it's okay to feel well, isn't it? Have a lovely day. Bye for now. Oh, by the way, if you like my videos, you know what to do. I would be super happy if you would support this channel by liking, commenting, subscribing, and all the rest of it. So again, have a lovely day. Bye for now.